Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. And as you can see, we're going to listen to some Jimi Hendrix today, an entire marathon. Way overdue. I've talked a lot about Jimi Hendrix as of why I've never really gotten into him and stuff like that. So I would sound like a broken record. It just never really happened. And but as you can see, my guitar heroes in the back, you know, Alan Holdsworth, Yngwie Malmsteen, you know, it's just like Paul Gilbert, Steve Vai, all these, I guess, newer generation players, not even Van Halen. It's just like something that, I don't know, you know, maybe I was too late in the game for that. But hey, we're going to catch up. We're going to do some Jimi Hendrix. And I've heard like, you know, the most famous stuff, Foxy Lady, All Along the Watchtower, and all that good stuff. So I am aware of Jimi Hendrix, of course. But on purpose, I got, Jay got in touch with me. I was going to say I got in touch with, but no, Jay got in touch with me. And basically, Jay told me, hey, it's time. You know, it's time that you reacted to some Jimi Hendrix. And I agree. So thank you, Jay, for sponsoring this marathon. I am very, very appreciative about this. Thank you, and everybody for watching, all you Jimi Hendrix fans. This is going to be good. I'm a huge Jimmy Page fan, been all my life, since I was a child. Pretty much learned every lick that Jimi Hendrix, you know, ever played, you know. So, but it's I don't know. With Jimi Hendrix, it was just like, I guess it wasn't as accessible, you know, living in Mexico. I don't know. But so we're gonna do also some lesser known tunes. So we didn't want to go like all out and play like the best of. We wanted to do something more, you know, underground. And this is how the channel pretty much started. I would show my wife music, but music that was pretty much like not being played live or underappreciated. So that's how the whole idea started. So today we're going to do some underappreciated gems by Jimi Hendrix. We're going to start it off with Red House from the album Are You Experienced? Now, of course, I've seen this cover hundreds of times, and I think maybe I've even heard the record, but I'm not really... I don't know if I've heard Red House. It sounds, you know, I don't know. I must be honest. I don't know. That's the first track. Are You Experienced is from 67. All right. Then we're going to play from If 6 Was 9 by Axis, Bold as Love. All right. 67 as well. Okay. Now I've seen that cover as well. So yeah, I guess they're so iconic, you know. Then One Rainy Wish from the same album, 67. Axis. Then Electric Ladyland, I've heard that as well, you know, the album Gypsy Eyes, never heard that song. And then House Burning Down, also Electric Ladyland. Let's see the year, 68. So he was just like, you know, hit after hit, or I guess, you know, record after record. This was a very creative time, you know, where artists didn't take like 8, 9, 10 years to pump out a new album. No, this was like, you know, people didn't have cell phones, TVs, CD players, Netflix, all that stuff, you know. They had to be creative to be entertained. So yeah. So now, as Jay mentioned in the email he sent to me, that this is likely going to get blocked. Like, I'm 95% sure this is going to get blocked. So I have a bit of a strategy. Since I usually do an extra song, I'm going to do one of Jimi Hendrix instead of doing another Jimi Hendrix song and getting it more blocked. So we're going to do a song by Billy Gibbons, and aka Billy Gibbons, ZZtop, right? Because those folks are under Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers doesn't block. So if the whole thing gets blocked, then we can dispute the block by disputing the song on the marathon by ZZtop, and that way, basically, we will get away with it. I hope. It's just one song. Let's try it, because it's all 5 songs. That's what I've told you guys not to do. pick all 5 songs by a company that blocks and just one artist. So because we have no leeway here. So that's why I'm throwing in a ZZ Top. Otherwise I would have thrown in another Hendrix tune, but it's just too risky, and I don't want this to end up, on Spotify. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get into the music. Give me just one moment. All right, here we go with the first song, Red House, and also my guitar. Like, it's like a new thing that I do like the guitar, just in case if I get inspired, and but I usually don't like to interrupt the song. That's why I do it. If I play a lick or something, it's at the end of the song, but I don't know, it really has to be like, it has to come to me, and then yeah. So let's start it out with Red House, and yeah, I'm surprised they're very, like, not as long as I thought, the songs, but hey, we're still gonna have a lot of fun. So here we go with Red House. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, I've heard this before, but I remember where it was about while doing a video. I think it was for RG, and it was Rory Gallagher, because that's why I was like, it sounds familiar. The intro gave it away, that and the name a little bit. It was Rory Gallagher, and even it was told to me the original version is Jimi Hendrix. Now, if this is a cover or something that he's doing, then I apologize, but I've heard this definitely by Rory Gallagher, which was an amazing version as well. I've never heard this one though, the original. So there you go. So, but I was just like, yeah, like when I did this, it's like, yes, okay. So let's continue. Beautiful blues, beautiful voice coming here out of the left channel. Really cool. I love it.
The key won't unlock the door. Wait a minute, something's wrong. Lord have mercy, this key won't unlock the door. Something's going on here. I have a bad feeling. My baby don't live here no more. That's all right, I still got my guitar. Look out now.
Wow, so good. I mean, what can you say? It is the almighty Jimi Hendrix. You know, I mean, I don't know who influenced more guitar players. I don't know. I really don't know. If it was Jimmy Page or Van Halen or Eric Clapton or Jimi Hendrix, I really don't know. I don't know the numbers, but I'm sure that when people heard him, they were like, "What is he doing?" You know, at the time, this kind of playing was just not normal. You know, and I remember when I first heard, you know, Led Zeppelin. You know, that was like, wow, how is he doing this? And then once you learn, you know, how to play the pentatonic scale, or you throw in some, you know, chromatic licks in there and the blues scale, and that, then you kind of like, and these, you know, repetitions, then you kind of see, oh, this is what he was actually doing. But I'm sure this was also incredibly complex for the time. I mean, in 1967, you know, this was before Led Zeppelin, before Jimmy Page. I guess Jimmy Page and he was already, and Eric Clapton, they're already like around, and Jeff Beck, and I think Jeff Beck is just. He's a monster as well. I mean, there's so many good guitar plays that came out during that same time, but I guess they did look up to Jimi Hendrix in a way. You know, I guess he was just doing stuff that nobody else was doing before, and that's like the cool thing, that one person does it and they're like, what's going on? Like when Van Halen started tapping, you know, even though I know that there's some, you know, Genesis, Steve Hackett was tapping before that, and then Randy Rhoads was doing it. And even, I think 50 years prior to Van Halen, an Italian guitar player was tapping on the guitar, on the acoustic. So it's, you know, it's just like techniques that without the internet and without, you know, video and all that stuff, they were kind of like hidden, you know. So yeah, this was a great track. I love the lyrics, you know, that at the end he's like, well, you know, I lost my girl, but I still have my guitar, so pretty much nothing else matters. So that's kind of cool. All right, so let's move on. If 6 was 9 is the next song. Here we go. So this actually is almost 6 minutes long, so that's kind of cool. Here we go.
If the sun refuses to shine, I don't mind. I don't mind. If the mountains fill in the sea, let it be. It ain't me. Turned out to be 9. Oh, I don't mind.
So good.
Oh, I don't mind. If all the hippies cut off all their hair. Oh, I don't care. Oh, I don't care. White-collar conservative flashing down the street, pointing their plastic finger at me. They're hoping soon my kind of drop and die, but I'm gonna wave my free flag. Hi! Wow! just don't fall on me. Going on, Mr. Businessman. You can't dress like me.
Wow. Oh, right on time. Literally, I set an alarm and I never looked back actually to the alarm. You gotta give it to the bass player. The doing the bass walk there, almost, you know. It was not like, it was more like a chromatic kind of thing he was doing, but the drummer also. I hope people, I'm sure people, you know, have talked about this, but they're like really shining on this, you know, like the bass player and the drummer. Of course, Jimi Hendrix as well. I love there's some, you know, panning going on, some delay, some really psychedelic stuff. And this time, I think on the Are You Experienced, he was on this side. Now he's on the right side. And I don't know why they used to do this back. I guess it was because it was back in mono. It's like there was no stereo, so I think that the way they recorded it was in the same channel, and now they've split it, you know, so we have him on the right side. I don't know, you guys tell me. But very cool lick, that doo-doo, doo-doo. And then what I love about Jimi Hendrix, of course, is his guitar playing, but also his singing is very good. His voice is very, very, I don't know, just very original, and I like the whole vibe. And it's so sad that he, you know, died so young, because what if we would have now like a 60, 70-year-old, you know, Jimi Hendrix? What would have happened? All the amazing music that would have come out. So I guess we can only dream, you know. But imagine he was not even 30 yet, and he had when he passed away, and he inspired so many people to play. So I think there was one time I think I bought a Guitar Player magazine, and it was like a what if kind of scenario, and they did it, you know, with a couple of artists that had passed away, and they kind of like with CGI kind of, you know, this is way back in like 2000 or something. So of course it didn't look at that real, but it was like a what if interview if he would have never passed away. And it was very interesting to read, you know, what he likes, and, you know, it was kind of like, you know, these what if scenarios. So yeah, we can only dream. But yeah, let's keep going. I love the it's very psychedelic, you know, very cool. Like I said, the panning and the delay, and, you know, there's some licks that you hear suddenly and stuff. So really, really interesting.
Got my own life to live. I'm the one who's got to die when it's time for me to die. So let me live my life the way I want to. There. Sing on, brother. Play on, son.
Wow. So I don't know what he was doing. If he was doing like the feedback of the guitar, if he was messing with his pickups. First, I thought he was like doing like scratching the strings with his pick, and then I was like, no, sounds like a flute. But you let me know. It was definitely very trippy. I should have done some mushrooms before this video. Honestly. But no, I would be, I guess, like leaving and, like running around the house, and then coming back in 20 minutes. Hey, what's going on? No, but this was very good. But what I also wanted to talk about is it reminds me a lot of the music at the time, like the Doors, like this doom, 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 doom. Like there's almost like this dance, around the fire and like, the drum circles, I love that stuff. Like I love the improvisational nature of the whole thing. Like it was recorded like, okay, we're going to play this, like, let's say an E or an A or whatever, and then let's see what happens. I like that it's not so structured. It doesn't sound so polished. I like the rawness of the music, and, I guess with Led Zeppelin, that came kind of like 2 years after this, you could hear obviously much more like structureness. But I think Led Zeppelin were very famous because I've seen them on video, of course. I wish I would have seen them live, but I've seen some concerts, and Led Zeppelin is more like of a jam band. When they play live, they don't really go with the structure. They kind of like, do their thing, and they just like a 4-minute song comes like a 12-minute song, and they like to jam. I love that. I'm sure that, I don't know if Jimi Hendrix, if you ever saw Hendrix live, let me know if he would stick to, a certain formula or do it like this. I'm sure maybe that more like this, because I mean, even on the studio records, it sounds more like an improvisational kind of thing, I don't think he was thinking of, I'm gonna play this scale here and do this. I'm just gonna go with it, and if you don't like it, let's just do it again. It has that rawness that I really enjoy. Really, really cool. Okay, now next song is One Rainy Wish. Here we go. Same album. Before I forget, I love that the music of Hendrix, like what I'm hearing right now, I love that there's a lot of bass, there's a lot of drums, and he does like, and then he sings like that kind of stuff. You know, he's not just like, you know, shredding like, you know, he's like, it's very melodic, very, very harmony infused. You know, there's a lot of not harmony, I want to say melody. There's a lot of melody around his. You know, he does like this little like fills, like it's almost like he's just, you know, I don't know, he's painting over the canvas a little bit. He's not like saturating it. Especially in this tune, you know, like I love that little subtlety, you know, instead of just going for broke, you know. I really like that. Really, really nice. Really, really cool. Okay, let's keep going. Wow, man, so good, so trippy. Okay, so I thought about something. Let's play, because I don't want this to get blocked, and I think the only way is, so I've kind of like come up with my system, you know. When I do these reactions, usually it's because it's automatically perceived or like recognized by Google, right? So if there's like 2 or 3 songs in a row by the same artist, then they're kind of like, okay, what the hell, you know, what's going on? And basically, and when it gets blocked, then they show you every song. And these are all by Sony. I looked it up. Like Jimi Hendrix was on the Sony. So it's going to be Sony records, Sony records, Sony records. And if we would if we put now like a Warner Records, then even if it's blocked, then I have 2 opportunities to dispute. So I think I'm going to do 2 ZZtop songs. I know this might be a little bit lame. I could also do ZZtop and maybe Doobie Brothers. I don't know, you know, just for the sake of keeping the marathon up. It's not so much about the music. Of course, I love ZZtop, and I'm going to do a really cool one that everybody loves. But I think I will have to do 2, because then it's more like, okay, there's 5 Sony songs, and I know I'm stretching this out as a little bit longer than I want to, because these marathons are already very long. And usually it's only 5 songs, but for the sake of this marathon just staying up, I have to do this. Otherwise, it's going to end up on Patreon, and 100 or 200 people can watch it. That's it. So I want everybody to watch this. So let's do ZZtop. Let's play. I'm going to surprise you. Let's just go for it. And this is a banger with a lot of improvisation, but very, very good. Let's go. And of course, I've heard this before.
Rumors spreading round.
It's just
United Texas town. About to shack outside the game. And you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go
That voice is so good.
to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls. I'm racing. Well, here it's fine if you got the time and the chance to get yourself in. And here is time almost every night. But now I might be mistaken.
That way of incorporating that, like that, that many times and keep it interesting. He's literally a genius for doing that, because he's playing this repetition, but in a way that it's so tasty. And also what I like about ZZtop, about the guitar player, is that he's so freaking, like, he's playing the pentatonic scale, right? But the way he plays it, it's unpredictable as hell. I don't know, maybe he uses like certain like chromatic passages there. I really haven't analyzed, but the solo, right? But the way he does this lick there, and he does it again, and then he does it again, and he waits a little bit. And silence is sometimes one of the best notes in music, are the ones that are not being played. And he waits, and then he puts it in again. What a genius! Like, what a player! I'm really, really honored to have seen this man live. You know, like, and this is like what, their third album. Like, they didn't have the beards yet, or maybe they had. I don't know, but. Man, ZZtop is really becoming one of my favorite bands. Honestly, they're so heavy for the time. It's still the 70s, 1973. So this is just 6 years later, and I love that that Jimi Hendrix really appreciated this trio as well. You know, being in a trio. So yeah, let's do this. Let's finish to this, and then let's do the two Hendrix songs, and then let's put another ZZtop on top, and that way I'm sure I can dispute the marathon and like basically write to Warner and say, hey, this video of mine is being blocked. Are you okay with this? And then they're like, well, we're okay with you having it up because we're making money. They're like the only company that knows that we people, you know, that reaction channels or people that upload music and talk about it and pause, they're making money, you know. So that's, I guess Warner Brothers is the only company that kind of like wants to take advantage of that. So yeah, so let's keep going, okay? And but that's the way I'm gonna structure this marathon. And since it's Jimi Hendrix, you know, I don't care if I have to make it longer. I want this up. I want this up on the internet. So let's go on YouTube. Wow. I've never really paid attention to this solo. Oh, okay. What happened? What was that? Okay. I didn't know that he was doing a lot of this. Let's see. Like, like, I mean, with the acoustic, it sounds like crap, but. And I don't even know if the microphone is picking it up, but that's basically, I wanted to say it. It's like he's doing all these pinch harmonics. It's where your flesh of your thumb has to touch the string and the plastic, and then it does like this, you know, this little pinch harmonic. So cool, man. Okay, so let's continue. I think what happened here for this 1 second was traffic. So if you were wondering what we just played, but yeah, let's continue with Gypsy Eyes by Electric Ladyland. That's the album. Here we go, Hendrix.
Countryside, do you still think about me? Well, I walk right on up to your rebel roadside, the one that rambles on for 1,000,000 miles. Yes, I walk down this road searching for your love and my soul too. But I'm finding I ain't gonna let go.
Comes the solo. I think I'm loving the sound of this album because now I can hear Jimmy in the center in stereo singing, and I love his guitar tone. It's not so distorted. It has a little bit of fuzz on there, a little bit overdriven, but not too much. It still sounds like a clean electric guitar with a little bit of fuzz on there, and that sound is just beautiful. A little bit of reverb, not too much. Just fantastic, and I love that you can really hear the bass, like I don't know, like I have to listen to it, but I love that he's like a little bit of the lick, and then he's singing again. He's such an interactive guy, you know. I love that he lets the band breathe. Because there's guitar players who just take over and whatever they don't even know what the band's doing. They're just like, you know, like more in the metal genre. I don't know, some blues guitar players, I guess, and in jazz it's very different. Like for example, I know Alan Holdsworth is a very fast player, but he is a very expressive player as well. He's always talking on the guitar. He's always kind of like to say something. It doesn't sound scaly at all. I don't know if you know what I mean. I'm sure you do. It doesn't sound like he's playing a bunch of scales. He is actively improvising and trying to portray his emotions. That's what I love about Alan Holdsworth. But well, we're talking about Jimi Hendrix, but that's what I love about him as well. He's more like he's talking with the guitar. He's not just like, oh, look what I can do. He doesn't do that. I love that about Jimi Hendrix. He's not trying to show off. I know he was very his persona was very bombastic and larger than life, you know, like putting you know, the guitars on fire and stuff. That was a spectacle. I mean, a lot of people, I know a lot of guitar players, famous guitar players, that where I've read that when they saw Jimi Hendrix, that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to put, you know, guitars on fire, play with their teeth and stuff behind their back, you know, all the stuff like that, that so many guitar players do. That's all Hendrix, you know. He came up with that spectacle, you know, that show, and it's wonderful. So let's go back because I have a feeling that there's a solo coming up. But yeah, this is a great experience. It's really good. Let's go.
I remember the first time I saw you. The tears in your eyes were like I was trying to say, oh, little boy, you know I could love you. But first I must make my getaway to the strange men fighting to the death over me today. I'm trying to meet you by the old highway. Hey!
So harmony guitars.
Well, I realize that I'm in hypnotized. I love your gypsy eyes. 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 Searching so long, my feet they make me lose a battle. Down against the road, I'm wearing these feet. Walk to the side, I fall, but I hear a sweet call. My gypsy eyes is burning, and I can say, all I can say. That's why I love you. Say I love you.
Wow, it gets so crazy. I love it. It's so good. Okay, so I have a great idea. I just figured out that because look, I'm looking at a list of Jimi Hendrix's favorite guitar players, and it's Albert King. I don't know if it's an order or age, but I'm pretty sure Albert King is one of the oldest. Muddy Waters, B.B. King, Elmore James, Albert Collins, Eric Clapton, Steve Cropper, Otis Rush, and I looked up Rory Gallagher and Billy Gibbons. So we've done some Billy Gibbons, which is Warner Brothers. So I looked up Otis Rush, and he's under Warner. So we can play some Otis Rush because I want to do this, you know, like to honor Jimi Hendrix and his, you know, what he liked. So we did some Billy Gibbons for the form of ZZtop. We'll play another. We're gonna play. Let's grab this one here. Well, my computer is. I don't know what's going on. It's super like slow. I don't know. Maybe it's the website that I'm on. Maybe let's close this. Maybe it's like installing some spyware right now. Who knows? Yeah, that's better. Maybe that's what it was. Okay, so I've added some Otis Rush. I've added Working Man from Morning in the Morning. From doesn't say the year. I'll figure it out in a second. That's crazy because there's a song by Rush, you know, the band from Canada, also called Working Man on their first, I think it's their first album. Okay, we're gonna do House Burning Down first. This is a longer song by Hendrix, also Electric Ladyland. By the way, the sound of this album is amazing. Everything that's being done in the studio here, like all the effects, there's some harmony guitar. He was actually playing in thirds there, some harmony guitar that you usually hear is Thin Lizzy, stuff like that. Iron Maiden, that was cool. But also the effects that they're using, like some pitch, you know. I don't know if it was an octave, but it's some kind of like pitch guitar effect on the guitar. Really cool. And when it really gets like super good, then comes the fade out. I don't know. I guess they don't want to overdo it. I don't know exactly. Maybe it was like Hendrix in the studio, like, okay, you know, like, let's end it here. It's getting a little bit too wild. I don't know, but it's definitely very good. So here, House Burning Down. And then we're gonna close it off with Otis Rush. Vibrato on Hendrix. Holy moly. You know, nice, beautiful.
Well, I asked my friend, where is that black smoke coming from? He just coughed and changed the subject and said, oh, I think it might snow some. So I left him sipping his tea, and I jumped in my chair and run off to see just why and who could it be this time. Sisters and brothers, daddies, mothers, standing around crying. When I reached the scene, the flames were making a ghostly whine. So I stood on my horse's back, and I screamed without a crack. I say, oh, baby, why did you burn your brother's house down? Disgusting, so we paint red through the sky. I say the truth is straight ahead, so don't burn yourself instead. Try to burn instead of burn. Hear what I say. So I finally rode away, but I'll never forget that day. Cause when I reached the valley, I looked way down across the way. A giant boat from space landed with eerie grace and came and taken all the dead away. Hellfire red, Lord. Somebody's house is burning, still burning. Down, 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 down. Look at the sky, turn a hellfire red, Lord. Somebody's house is burning. Down, down, down.
Yeah. Wow, he was doing some Van Halen stuff before Van Halen. With the whammy bar. Or just with the, I think at that time guitars didn't have Floyd Rose on them, the whammy bar that basically doesn't get your guitar out of tune because it's locked. So just with a normal, whammy tremolo bar, as they call it, or whammy bar, he was doing all this, and then of course after that the guitar is like toast. You have to retune it and stuff like that. But hey, it sounds amazing, especially when you're recording in the studio. What a great trip Hendrix is. I don't know why I've never gotten into him, being such an iconic name and figure in guitar, player music. I think when I was younger, I listened a little bit to Hendrix, and since there was no like that kind of stuff that I was like seeking at the moment, which was very neoclassical, very melodic minor stuff, arpeggios, that kind of stuff. I guess that's why I turned my back to him, but because I guess I was a little bit ignorant at the time. And I remember my brother started playing guitar, and when he started playing 10 years before me. So when he started playing, I was very small, and he would play like these licks and stuff, and it was incredibly difficult to me just to grasp the idea of him playing this. And I grabbed the guitar and I couldn't even hold the damn thing. I couldn't pick the right string. It was just impossible. It was overwhelming. So I was like, no. And since he was playing Hendrix, maybe it was almost like a little bit of it turned me off, or I don't know. And like I said, when I started to play guitar, I was into Iron Maiden, I was into Metallica. I was already past my Led Zeppelin phase, so I never really tried to emulate that at the time. So what I was listening to was a lot of neoclassical players, like Paul Gilbert or Jason Becker, Yngwie Malmsteen, Joe Satriani, stuff like that. Steve Vai. So I wanted to play like those typical lines, very neoclassical. There wasn't a lot of blues involved with these players. So I think that's why I never really got into Clapton and Jimi Hendrix and so forth, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, these players, which I now kind of regret, because I think that would have been a good foundation to begin with. Most of like even jazz players or metal players, they start with the blues, with the foundation, with the basics, So yeah, that was kind of like a bummer. I started like literally learning like neoclassical stuff and Bach, but I also started on the acoustic guitar playing classical music. So I guess I was already accustomed to those kind of like structures. So okay, now we're gonna finish it off, this amazing marathon. I hope you're having fun with Morning in the Morning by Otis Rush. And let's see what year this is, because this is a remaster. Oops, sorry. When did this release? Okay. August 15th, 69. So after this. Okay, interesting. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know who influenced who, but hey, it doesn't matter. They're all on different level of playing. They're already up there. Okay, here's Working Man from Otis Rush. There we go.
Just a working man, but I stay busy every day. I'm just a working man, but I stay busy every day. I'm on the midnight ship, baby, and I'm getting double pay. I'm just a plain hard worker one simple tool. I'm just a plain hard worker. I only use one simple tool. I work hard in the nighttime just to keep my baby cool. I know big time.
This is so good. This is more, obviously more classic blues, but I love it. Like, you know, I love the lyrics and I love the licks and I love the vibe. It says, I'm just a plain hard worker. I only use one simple tool, man. And then I work hard in the nighttime just to keep my baby cool. I mean, you know, that's just fantastic. I love it. It's just simple, down to the, you know, down to the basics, you know. I love it. Very cool. Never heard of the man. You know, that's the beauty of these very impromptu reactions, you know. And then I'm like, okay, I think we have a problem here. And I was not going to do anything. I was just going to risk it. And then I was like, I really want this up, you know. This is so cool. I've never really reacted to Jimi Hendrix. I've heard him before, of course, who hasn't, but these songs. And then I was like, they're gonna block it, and that's okay. What can we do? And then, you know, I came up with this. So I hope you're enjoying it, really. So let's continue with this, man. There you go.
But you'll dig the way I do. I'm no big time, but you'll dig the way I do. Just pay me another hour, and I'll do some work on you. I don't belong to any union. This is just a one-man game. I don't belong to any union. This is just a one-man game. They call me the West Side Spoiler. Your love will never be the same.
Oh my god, I get it. It's like it's basically he gets paid to, you know, we know, everybody knows for what. Oh my god, now I get it, because it says this is just a one-man game. They call me the working class baller. Your love will never be the same. And then also it says, just pay me for the hour, baby, and I'll do the work on you. Oh my god. I thought he was like this working guy, you know, like lifting, you know. And so that's why it says, I'm no big time mover, but you'll dig this the way I do. Just pay me for the hour, baby. Man, that's some smart stuff here. Very cool. Very innocent, but we know, everybody knows what's going on, but the way it's written is like, you're not offending anyone. It's super cool. Yeah, at first I didn't get it, but when he says, when I reread, because now you can pull up the lyrics on Spotify, when it says, let's see, it says, I just use one simple tool, and we know, and then I work hard in the nighttime. I was like, what kind of job is this? Like, and I was actually thinking of some kind of spatula, something. And here he had me fooled for a second. But hey, you know, that's another thing, you know, I've always been into instrumental music. Like, I don't know why. It's just, I guess since I started listening as a kid to classical music, I was just so used to the structure of instrumental. And then I got into instrumental guitar players. So I'm not very savvy when it comes to lyrics. Like, I usually ignore them totally. But this one, you know, now as I'm doing this more often, I really try to at least know what's going on, you know, what they're singing about, because usually I would not even pay attention, but there was a time where I would only pay attention to the lyrics, when I was about, I don't know, 11, 12 years old, and I would literally skip the solos. For me, it was like a waste of time. I was not a musician then. I didn't know about music, but I only wanted to listen to the singing. And then when this 5-minute instrumental section came, I kind of like skipped it. That was kind of like a thing, like a phase in my life. And really odd, because of a CD player and the ability, you know, to fast forward very quickly. I don't know. And yeah, it's just a thing that happened, but not very long. Once I got in the guitar, you know, yeah, pretty much I would skip to the solo and listen to that. But hey, so this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much again, Jay. This was so good. Like you said, a long overdue. And I just hope and wish, I'm really praying that once I edit this, I'm going to upload it on YouTube, and then I'll get the verdict. Then basically Google or YouTube or Google, which is the same, they're going to tell me if it's going to get blocked. Usually Sony blocks immediately, and then you can dispute it. Then they give you 48 hours, and then they release it, but they can still come back to you and say, hey, no, you know what? It's not going to get played. But with the options of Warner Brothers, I'm not even going to dispute the Sony. I'm going to dispute the whole marathon under Warner, that there's a Warner track on there. And I'm going to tell Warner, I want this to be on YouTube, and they're pretty much going to say yes. So that's why I'm always going on about Warner. And a lot of people are already incorporating Warner Brothers tracks on their marathons, which is Atlantic and what is this? Atlantic Records. So Led Zeppelin is Warner. Van Halen is Warner. This is Atlantic. I don't know. There's like all these sub, studios, and you can look them up. It's like Warner Records, and then it goes under Atlantic, Elektra, and so forth. So again, thank you so much for being here, for watching. I hope you had a lot of fun. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you like the video, give it a like. If you dislike it, give it a dislike. If you like the channel, maybe sub, maybe check us out on Patreon. My wife and I, we do full album reactions. I wouldn't mind doing a full life or full album reaction to Jimi Hendrix. I mean, I think she would dig it too. She loves, older music, classic stuff. So maybe. All right. Well, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.